Dear students, how are you? I hope you are safe and sound by the mercy of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. I am your English teacher, Azizur Rahman, assistant English teacher, Al Indian Secondary School, Ayush. Today I am here to take English for class 8 and I will teach you today definite article. In my previous class, I discussed or taught you indefinite article, that means a or an, and today I am going to talk about with you about definite article the. Dear students, we know that when the thing when anything is definite, we must put article the before the common noun. Dear students, at first I will give an example. Look at the whiteboard. This is an elephant. The elephant is a big animal. Dear students, elephant here is common noun, and if there is any common noun, we must put there article a or an. But when the common noun is definite in the second sentence, it is first sentence, it is not first sentence, it is second sentence. But here the elephant is definite, so I have written the before the animal. Here elephant is definite, and that's why I have written the before elephant. So when any common noun in the sentence, we must write definite article the. Let's do next. General class. General class. That's why general class. Suppose the horse is a faithful animal. The horse is a faithful animal. Here the horse is a name of animal, and it is a general class because these horse indicates the whole horses, all the horses in the world. These are general class. So that's why the should be written before the general class of noun. And next, river. River, the Meghna is a big river. Dear students, Meghna is the name of a river, and if there is any river in the sentence, we must put the before the river. Meghna, as Meghna is a river, that's why we have to write the before the river Meghna. Okay, dear students, our next example is sea. Suppose the Red Sea. The Red Sea Red Sea is the sea, the name of a sea. and that's why we have to write the before the C. Our next rule, in the time of writing version. Version means big C and bigger than the C. There are some oceans in the world, such as the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the North Ocean, etc. So I can write the Atlantic. The Atlantic is a big ocean. Atlantic is the name of an ocean, and that's why before it we must write article the. Gulf, the Bay of Bengal. The Bay of Bengal is a branch of the Indian Ocean. The students, look at the whiteboard. I have written Bay of Bengal. It is a name of a gulf. Gulf means branch of ocean. Gulf means branch of ocean. Indian Ocean is a big ocean, and its branch is Bay of Bengal, and that's why we may write the before the gulf. The Bay of Bengal is a gulf. And next, ship, such as the Titanic, sank in the Atlantic Ocean. Titanic is the name of a ship, and before the ship we must write article the. It is the rule. Group of islands, that means many islands in a group. We must write before the islands article the, definite article. And now I am going to give an example of that tribe, such as the Himalayas is in Nepal. The Himalayas is in Nepal. Himalayas is a group of islands. Because many islands are in a group, and that's why Himalayas is not the name of a single island. It is a connection, or it is a ring of islands. It is a group of islands. That's why we must write the before the group of islands. But when on single island, suppose Everest is the name of one island, so we cannot write here the. There will no article here, because one island does not take any article, but a group of islands always take article the. Dear students, our next example. religious book. We know that the Quran, the Holy Quran, the Gita, the Ramayana, and the Bible, etc. There are so many religious books in the world, and before the religious book, we must write article the definite article. Suppose the Quran is the holy book for the Muslims. The Quran is the holy book for the Muslim. Dear students, here the Quran is a religious book. Religious book, and before the religious book, we must write definite article the. Next, newspaper such as the Pratham Alo is a Bengali newspaper. The Pratham Alo is a Bengali newspaper. Pratham Alo is a newspaper, and that's why we must write the before the newspaper. And single thing, dear students, if there is single thing in the world, in the art, before the single thing, one and only thing, that means one and only thing, before one and only thing, we must write article the, definite article. Suppose the sun, the moon, the earth, these are the single thing in the world. So we must write the before this single or one and only thing in the world. Suppose the sun rises in the east. Sun is a single thing or one and only thing in the world, and that's why we must write article the before the single thing. There is our next example. Meaningful geographical name. Meaningful. There are some meaningful geographical names in the world. Though there are many geographical areas in the world, but these are not meaningful. Only except only some geographical names in the world, such as USA. The USA is a great country or a big country. Suppose is a big country. USA is a meaningful geographical name. Suppose the Punjab. The Punjab is a geographical name. That's why we must write the before the meaningful geographical name. And next, date. So many dates in our life, and when we see any date, we must write the before the date. Such as Bangabandhu Bangabandhu was born on the 17th March 1920. Dear students, look at the whiteboard. Bangabandhu was born on the 17th March 1920. Here 17 is the name of a date. Name of date, and before the name of date we must write the. Okay, then date before the date. And next example is sometimes we see in the sentence use of possessive adjective. Possessive adjective means possessive pronoun, and after possessive pronoun there is a noun. I will give two examples of possessive adjectives, and instead of possessive adjectives we use definite article the, such as this is his pen. This is his pen. Dear students, pen is noun and his is possessive pronoun. Possessive, not pronoun, adjective, because before a noun there must have an adjective. So his here is used as possessive adjective, not possessive pronoun, because possessive pronoun does not sit in the sentence alone, and it must have a word or noun equivalent or noun after this possessive pronoun, and that's why possessive pronoun is called then possessive adjectives. As usual, here his is possessive pronoun, but sometimes we see that instead of possessive adjectives we use definite article instead of possessive adjectives. Now I will give an example of this kind of possessive adjective. The teacher pulled him by the ear. Dear students, ear, before ear there is a definite article the. I can say here the teacher pulled him by his ear. I can say in this way, but his is omitted here, and instead of his we have written the. So dear students, we can say that instead of possessive adjective we may use definite article the. Okay, dear learner, our next rule is caste or community. Caste or community, such as the Muslims, the English, the Bengalis, these are the caste or community. Before caste or community we must write article the. So the will be written before caste, because Muslim is a caste, English is a caste, Bengali is a caste, and before caste we must write article the. Superlative degree, dear students, superlative degree. Suppose he is the best boy in the class. Here best is superlative degree. Superlative degree. And before superlative degree we must write the. If we do not, we are not able to write definite article the superlative degree will make mistake, will be in incorrect sentence. So, dear students, you must write the before the superlative degree. Best is superlative degree. Here. Next, our next one is comparative. We know that comparative degree does not take any definite article like the. But when we see comparative degree, two persons or two things are compared. If comparative degree is compared into or between two men or two persons or two things, and the two is alluded in the sentence. Not only two things or two persons, but also the figure 2 is alluded in the sentence, and in that case we must the before the comparative degree. Dear students, now I will give an example of the rule. Suppose she is the more beautiful. She is the more beautiful of the two girls. Dear students, look at the sentence. She is the more beautiful of the two girls. Two girls is written in the sentence. If two is written in the sentence, then though it is comparative, but there is two in figure in the sentence, and that's why we must write the before the comparative form. Comparative form is more beautiful, it is comparative form. But here 2 is written in the sentence. 2 is alluded in the sentence, and in this case we must write the before the comparative form. But generally comparative form does not take any definite article, but in this case comparatively must take definite article the, because 2 is alluded in the sentence. Dear students, our next rule is the sooner the better. The sooner the better. The closer the better. The more you read, the more you learn. Dear learners, I have written 3 sentences. If comparative degree is in a pair, sooner better, closer better, more. There are pairs of comparative degree, and in this case the will be written every comparative form. The here before better, the here before closer, the here before better, the here before more, the here before more. Because 2 comparative forms, and every comparative form there should have the definite article the. Okay, dear students, and our next rule is occupation. Occupation, in the case of occupation, such as he joined the army. Army is an occupation. Army is an occupation, and that's why we have written the before that occupation. And next rule is ordinal number. Dear students, ordinal number. There are three types of number in English grammar. Among them, ordinal is one, such as cardinal number, multiplicative number. And in the time of ordinal number, we must take definite article be, such as he is the first boy in the class. He is the first boy in the class. First is ordinal number because ordinal number. Ordinal means a step. Such as if I draw a picture, it is a leveler, and every step 1, 2, 3, 4. It is ordinal. That means first, second, third,